can!
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
We can!
Yes, we can!
Don't let them stop you!
Ibrahim Traoré is the Captain President Ibrahim Traoré of the traditional president of Burkina Faso.
I think he's a remarkable leader for the whole world. I am, whenever I see him, I'm really compelled by him.
Taking hands off of Ibrahim Traoré. And we're representing the Center for Political Innovation because we want economic development.
Viewers, thank you for clicking back on this video. This is Frank on Pillars of History, your host. Thank you for clicking on this video. We are going to focus on the protesters who are protesting in support or in solidarity with Captain Ibrahim Traoré. We are going to see the full report detailed. So let's see the report in brief. We shall come back and comment on it. Thank you.
Illinois, and we're here to say that Ibrahim Traoré is right and AFRICOM is wrong.
Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off.
Burkina Faso, but for everyone around the world.
Are in the belly of what is happening around the world. We get up, we don't stop you.
Ibrahim Traoré is the Captain President Ibrahim Traoré of the traditional president of Burkina Faso.
Never told the Americans or the French when they should organize their elections, so it is not up to them to come and tell us when we should organize.
Welcome to Pillars of History 12, your source for bold, global, and untold stories from around the world. Hands off Burkina Faso, a U.S. protest with a global echo. In July 2025, a rather unexpected protest took place in parts of the United States. On a bright summer afternoon, dozens of demonstrators, remarkably, a majority of them white American activists, gathered under banners declaring "Number Hands Off Burkina Faso" and "Number Hands Off Ibrahim Traoré." Their message was directed at Washington and Paris: step back and allow Burkina Faso to choose its own future. What made this protest stand out was not its size, but its sentiment. Placards read, "Sovereignty is a right," and "Stop neocolonial practices." Organizers spoke calmly but firmly, calling for an end to what they described as Western political and economic pressures on nations like Burkina Faso.
Yes, we can!
Don't let them stop you.
Ibrahim Traoré is the Captain President Ibrahim Traoré of the traditional president of Burkina Faso.
I think he's a remarkable leader for the whole world. I am, whenever I see him, I'm really compelled by him.
Taking hands off of Ibrahim Traoré. And we're representing the Center for Political Innovation because we want economic development. We don't want degrowth.
People are liking it, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people are receptive or at least curious.
And I think if we take an example like this, and stand up for countries like this and learn from it, we too have a better prosperity, not just for ourselves now, but for generations to come.
So unique and so different.
While they acknowledged the country's complex security situation, they insisted that external interference often deepens rather than solves such problems. One protester's words drew particular attention. "If it means to die, I came to protect his life," she said, referring to Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's transitional leader. Her voice trembled slightly but carried conviction.
It's because that he's doing that they've made so many attempts on his life.
I would be willing to put my life on the line for him, to protect him. Because he's, he represents hope. He represents true hope and progress in this world. And I pray to God that nothing happens to him.
And my question is this: where does value...
Security defense, economic defense.
He is trying to give his people dignity. That should not be punished. Nearby, another activist held up a hand-painted sign. "Our taxes shouldn't fund destabilization." Others nodded as speakers talked about the dangers of resource exploitation and the need for fairer trade terms. Although these demonstrators were not claiming to speak for Burkina Faso, their presence reflected a growing unease about policies that many see as outdated remnants of colonial influence. Several mentioned that this protest was part of a broader movement, pointing to earlier demonstrations in Europe. Just months ago, rallies in Paris, Brussels, and Berlin drew crowds with similar messages, calling on European governments to review their military and economic engagements in the Sahel. In those events, too, banners bearing "Hands off Burkina Faso" appeared, often alongside messages of solidarity with Mali and Niger, countries that have also sought greater autonomy in recent years. To many analysts, this pattern of protests shows that concerns about sovereignty and foreign interference are no longer confined to African capitals. They are resonating with ordinary citizens in Western nations who question whether long-standing policies truly align with values of democracy and self-determination. In Burkina Faso itself, Captain Ibrahim Traoré's government has positioned itself as unapologetically sovereign. Since taking power in 2022, Traoré has pursued policies aimed at controlling national resources and reducing reliance on external security forces. Supporters see this as courageous. Critics view it as isolationist. Yet even those who disagree with him often admit he has struck a chord with citizens weary of decades of dependency. The U.S. protest did not claim to provide solutions to Burkina Faso's challenges. Protesters were clear that they were not celebrating every policy choice made in Ouagadougou. Instead, they voiced a principle. A nation has the right to shape its own path without excessive foreign interference. As one speaker summed up at the end of the gathering, "Whether you agree with Traoré or not, you can't ignore that Burkina Faso deserves the chance to stand on its own. That's all we are saying." For Burkina Faso, the road ahead is uncertain. Security threats remain, and economic pressures are real. But the sight of activists in both Europe and America raising their voices suggests a shifting narrative. The world is paying attention, and the idea that African nations deserve genuine sovereignty is finding unexpected allies far beyond their borders.
Together, Ibrahim Traoré was a soccer player himself, and he just held a very friendly game with other professional soccer players, and he won 3 matches. How about that? Go Traoré!
Go Traoré! Let all nations have self-determination and develop peaceful relationships, peaceful trade with each other, and innovate and share that innovation with each other so that we can live in peace, prosperity, and harmony, because there is plenty to go around.
This is the model of what can be here. You must fight. You must get up. You must be brave. Don't let them tell you that your words have no meaning, that they'll throw you in jail if you speak up. The more of us that speak up, what happens? Then more speak up, and more speak up. Don't let that frighten you. Get off your butts, do something about it. Fight for a future that you want.
We need a world where people refuse to take advantage of the downtrodden. We need to take an alternative road, because the road we're going is leading us to nowhere but to oblivion.
And this leader in Africa is a leader who understands that.
So that was Traoré's video. Those are Traoré's supporters in US. They are really supporting him, because one of them said that I can even sacrifice my life for him. So this shows the level of competence and love they have towards him. Traoré is not only supported in Burkina Faso, but now he is supported on the world stage. You cannot neglect the change. The change has already brewed all over the continent. So those are the protesters. They were peaceful protesters protesting in support of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. So when these people are shaping their narrative, they always say that the government of Burkina Faso is paying some people to propagate that Traoré is a good person too. So they always say that the Russian media, the Russian channels are the ones that are pushing that Traoré narrative. But indeed there is no any other any foreign support or any foreign involvement in the propaganda to propagate that Traoré is doing well. No. Let also other governments also do it. If we think that if it's for everyone to do it, let also other governments do it in order to wash their image. These protest will not be seen in mainstream media because the mainstream media is always, I will not say it. So you will not see it. The support, because the mainstream media always brings negativity. They always paint Traore's image or Burkina Faso as a country being plagued by insecurity and everything, violence and everything. But in other words, Burkina Faso, for those people who have been seeing people visiting there, Burkina Faso is a peaceful country. There is some part which has some attacks from these people who don't like the peace. But in fact, Burkina Faso is peaceful. Let the media not blackmail Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is very peaceful. Yes. So the leader of Burkina Faso has garnered support all over the continent and all over the world. People are supporting him because of his vision. He has revoked elections, calling them a calculated move by foreign interference to interfere in their elections, to put their own puppet leaders. So that's why he is actually making, his rhetoric is resonating with many people in the whole world. So that was it. Thank you for watching. Let's meet in the next episode. This is Frank.